I think that it's way cooler and way more fun and experience to buy experiences instead of stuff. Right now, I'm here at Cabo. We got the girlfriend Kayla getting ready over there, but I'd much rather spend $5,000 on a trip like this than lease a car for $5,000 per month, or what I don't even know what a let's say a Lamborghini would cost to lease, which is what most of these kids in Miami do. They get the penthouse apartment and lease a car or put very little money down and have a very high payment, high car insurance, have a ton of fixed monthly expenses, which take up their entire paycheck. That's actually how most of these people survive. And then they sell the lifestyle. And I do not think it's cool to make $25,000 a month and spend $20,000 a month, which is pretty much what most of these kids do because they need to maintain that rapport of looking like they have a lot of money. And I don't give a fuck about looking rich. I would rather just be rich and actually make a lot of money and be able to do whatever I want to when I want to, which is really the goal of it's trying to buy your freedom. And having it be a random Wednesday on April 16th right now, doing what we went and fucking rode camels today and having the freedom to be able to do that is what is epic. That's what's really cool. At the same time, trips like this really fire me back up to work super hard. We actually just got here yesterday, but I am fired up to get back to work. This has actually really just been refreshing, and I have a ton of new ideas that I want to implement, things that I want to do. Um, Taking a step back and going to, let's say, I wouldn't call Mexico a third world country, especially I've lived in South America, and actually I've been to, I think, maybe every country in South America. I know Mexico's in Central America. But anyway, there's some third world countries. Mexico I wouldn't consider, but that is besides the point. It's very slow in Central and South America. Everything just gets pulled back. Even today, when we're at breakfast ordering our food and getting coffee, it's just no one's in a hurry. It took 20 minutes to get a coffee. There are tons of benefits of being overseas. I've lived overseas substantially. And because there are a ton of benefits, the quality of life is spectacular. The cost of living is very low, especially if you're living with a group of people. It is epic. But the hustle culture in the US is awesome. I love when I'm driving. I live in Scottsdale most of the year, and I love seeing how many people are really moving the needle in terms of driving more value to society through growing their businesses, doing awesome things. And that fires me up to see, which obviously I'm not going to see here in Mexico, but coming here for a few days, relaxing with the girlfriend, working. I woke up early and worked. I was actually on some work calls right after the camel ride, and we did some tequila tasting as well. We're going to a nice dinner tonight, but I'm still working, but just substantially less than I otherwise would be. And I am fired up to get back and absolutely crush it and implement everything that I've really been able to think through and hopefully grow, 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 grow. It's really easy to think when it's after a super long 2 weeks of grinding for 14 days, which is what I was actually just on before Kayla arrived in Arizona. And then we flew out here to Cabo pretty spontaneously. It's like, fuck, and this is really stressful trying to grow the company. We have three main avenues that we can grow. We can take on more clients, we can get sponsors for our current clients, and we can produce more revenue for our clients through their businesses. And so I was like, I don't know. I was like, fuck, I have an opportunity to take on a lot of clients, but maybe all the additional work doesn't make a ton of sense, especially because all new revenue that I generate clients is substantially higher profit margin. So I was thinking maybe I just really focus on that, take it easy. I don't want to take it easy. I want to work, have so much joy and passion to doing what I do. So I want to continue to do it. And the real goal is to build long-term wealth where I'm not spending every dollar that I make. This month, I'm spending a substantial amount of money, mainly because next week I'm going to YPO Global, which is a very expensive event. I think out of pocket, I'm already spent like $8,000 just to get there before the event for the hotel, which is at a really nice hotel. Unfortunately, we're taking one of my clients' planes down there, so there's no travel cost there. But that's an event that could 10x your income. And so a lot of it actually we could take on a substantial amount of clients and literally like 10x the business overnight from that event, because the agreement that I have with my client that I'm going with, I haven't talked to him about this yet. So this might not happen, but I'm just going to ask him, hey, dude, I will never charge you more money. I kind of work for him for a really good deal for him because I learn a lot. I'm just going to say, dude, I will never, ever raise prices. We don't even, we don't really get paid from him, but I learn a lot. And that's why it's a great opportunity. And all I'm going to say is, dude, can you just help me get clients while we're here? And then if we take on 5 to 10 new clients, which would be substantial, that would put me in another like month of wanting to rip my hair out until we get everything systematized. But this is the importance of systematizing everything in your business, which is exactly what this guy was helping me with. This client, he was saying, dude, right now you have a high paying job. You need to figure out a way to systematize everything, because he has a incredibly large business where he works a ton. He actually worked way more than anyone would think, but he's mainly in meetings just telling other people what to do. He's never actually the one doing the work, and they do hundreds of millions of dollars per year. And so it's really about building out the processes, onboarding clients smoothly. Everyone knows what their roles are. Everyone knows like how what they're doing makes money, how that impacts them, just every single step of the way. And so that's what I would really like to do, especially if we take on quite a few more clients. And then I can actually just focus my time on higher leverage tasks like finding more clients. If we, let's say, onboarded 5 new clients and everything ran smoothly, and I knew that we could take on a bunch of new clients, we could get to 40 clients. And at my ticket price, that would be insane. Insane. And I could definitely take on more clients because we solve an incredible service for really large businesses. But I'm always just too concerned with my reputation, where I'm like, I don't want to fuck up what I have going. So I would have to make sure that everything goes well. Kayla, you want to say hello? How was the what did we do? Camels? Tequila? It was epic.
I loved it.
If you couldn't hear it, Kayla said it was amazing and she loved it. Yeah, tomorrow we're doing a clear boat tour where the boat is clear so we can see under it and see the fish. And so that will be fun. But yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. And the reason why I'm able to be on vacation right now is because we built out some systems. Mainly PJ's the systems master. And so we built out some systems, which has allowed me to free up a lot of time, not unlimited time. I still have a lot of responsibilities, but we're at an exciting but very cautious time because I'm seeing a lot of things, boots on the ground, where a lot of people's businesses are not doing well. Those are mainly businesses that service like low ticket offers to the poor and middle class, or I work with the ultra wealthy, which they're pretty recession proof. But that still makes me cautious, where everyone's saying that business is slow. So even though what I'm charging doesn't impact these hyper successful businesses, a lot of people are cutting back. So that means I don't want to be just spending everything. I want to really just be investing pretty much everything that I make for the next few years and not care about looking flashy, just not worrying about that at all, and just focusing on building long-term wealth of buying assets that spit out cash flow, that if everything went to shit, I lost every single client, the business went bust, I would still have a passive income nest of, let's say you bought a few $1,000,000 worth of real estate that you never have to work again in your entire life if you do that. Obviously, I wouldn't want to live off $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year. And I know that sounds terribly cocky, but I'm used to living a very nice lifestyle, and I'd like to continue to live that. But you always have that safety net. So that's really what I'm prioritizing. I don't own any assets right now. I have a very small stock portfolio. So that's what I'm really trying to think about, especially as every single aspect of the business is really taking off right now. It's an exciting time. And so now we just got to implement and take action, because what's interesting is the biggest regret of the same guy that I'm talking about, that I'm going to this big conference, and the YPO conference, if you don't know, the average business owner at this conference is going to be doing over $43 million per year. So that's right around the target range that I look for in most businesses that I take on as clients, doing over 50 million or around that area. And it's all for the owners of these businesses. And I only work directly with the owners, never with like their marketing teams. It's just the way that we operate. And there's going to be 200 of these businesses. So that's why I'm saying it's such a big opportunity and we could take on a lot of clients. But I had a point that I wanted to make, and then I went off on a super large tangent, spending however much money. I simply do not care how much money that trip cost me, because it has the potential to have substantial outsized returns. And most people are just never willing to risk anything to go to a conference, to do something. When in reality, if you just take action, you have substantially better results. And that works like 95% of the time. Doing nothing, you are guaranteed to be in the exact same position you're in now, which it probably sucks. But that's actually why a lot of people that are not very intelligent from an IQ perspective do substantially better in life in terms of how much money they make, because people that are too smart, they see all the possibilities where shit can go wrong, so they just never do anything. And I know a lot of people like this that are way too fucking smart for their own good, but they're broke because they see all the mental blockers. And I have one friend who he's a really young guy and he owns almost 1,000 properties. And he's 25 years old. I think he's 24. And he just fucking takes action. And you could say, oh, someone like that's going to go bust. No, because even if he goes bust, those people always figure it out and they continue to do well over time because they're action takers, which is surprisingly rare in today's society, which is another reason why it doesn't really matter if you give away everything online. Because when you really start to realize with business, even if you gave away everything, your employees probably won't even do it. It's hard enough to get people to do the task that you want. It's not going to happen if you tell someone on a YouTube video what your business is about, that someone's magically going to take your idea, or you tell one of your buddies. People are very tight with the things that they have, and I have no clue why. And the reason why this is super fresh on my mind is because for the sponsorship company, for all my clients, I'm reaching out to people that I know that are super large in the space that I've met before, that I'm asking for their sponsor relations and they're telling me no, but that's because they have a mega fixed mindset. Because in reality, they think only one person can win, when in reality, everyone can win. That is the beautifulness. I would give every single person all the current sponsor relations that I have, and in exchange for theirs, and vice versa. I was offering a multitude of favors, but they have this fixed mindset that if someone else wins, then they lose, and that's in reality not the case. Yeah. Kayla's trying to blow her hair out or whatever the fuck it is, because we got a fancy dinner coming up, which is another great thing. I really like fancy dinners. And so I'm not willing to give that up. This was all over the place. I make a video here pretty much every single day, just doing some stupid shit. I usually hate doing these videos because I never know what to talk about. So if you do have something that you want me to talk about, leave in the comments, because Jan, the guy who edits this, he always gives me ideas, but sometimes I don't like them. So fuck you, Jan. I'm just kidding. I love him.